there, my name is Ms.RedNebula and welcome back to Planet Zoo. We're back here in the Madagascan Simian Conservation Project. I think it's called the Ape-renticeship career mode. And we've got our chimpanzees who finally are mostly happy with their climbing structures. As it turned out, the flat structures like this don't seem to contribute to the climbable area at all. They like having these long, thin pieces in anything that's upright. My current running theory is that if you look at it on the heat map and you go to the traversable area, you've got to select a chimp, and then it shows you. My theory is that anything that has green and blue does not count toward the climbable area, but anything that is just green does. Not sure if that's accurate, but that's what I'm going for right now. I've also noticed them doing exactly what this guy's doing, which is climb all the way up on top of their roof here and hang out way up on top, which I just think is adorable, except when they're pooping all over everything. Well done. I thought it was funny. The guests seem to absolutely love them. So our average happiness for all the critters in the park is currently hanging out around the 83%, 82%. So what I gotta do is get that to 90%. And I don't think that's going to take terribly long, but I'm not sure. So let's take a look at the animals in the zoo. I'm gonna go on pause mode just because there seems to keep being a lot of trouble in this one with the critters ending up with either habitat not being cleaned properly or stuff like that. So just to keep things on the sane side, we're going to keep it paused just for a little bit here. Let's see, we've got some welfare issues with the bonobos, however you pronounce that. And it looks like it's just a case of mostly that they're missing enrichment. There's some other stuff too, but let's take a look at these little lovelies. They're going to be like, I can't tell the difference. Is that a chimp or a bonobo? Bonobo, boo-boo-boo-boo. Welfare, 61%. Ooh, guys. Let's see. First off, how's your food quality? Grade 2, let's bump you up to grade 3. I think that will make you a little bit happier straight off the bat, because then you've got some last meal quality being a little bit better. And you have no enrichment whatsoever. That's terrible. Right. Bonobo. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Really? What kind of monster designed this habitat? It wasn't me. I did the chimps. They're pretty happy. So you guys can have a bobbin. Actually, let me go to, so I've just got enrichment items so we can look at toys in particular. Oh, you guys can have the little piano thing. Love the little piano thing. You can have that. And let's chuck in a box for you to play with for the moment. Getting there. One thing you don't want to do is have every single type of toy enrichment in there all at the same time, because what'll end up happening is they get tired of stuff over time, and then you don't have anything to really replace it with. So, let's do sprinklers. Sprinklers are always fun. I like sprinklers. Still 74%. I don't want to give them all of the different things. Well, I think you guys can be pretty happy with 74%. Let's look at the food enrichment here anyway. A suspended forager. What is that suspended from? Or just on the ground? That's fine. I do that. Is it just because there's so many animals in here that the enrichment is going up so slow? How about a toolbox puzzle feeder? Let's see. Let's get over by one of the windows where people can see in. Yeah. Right over here. And then they can watch them play around with that because people really like seeing them actually play with stuff. And a termite mound. Actually, their species food enrichment is pretty okay. Like that. See, this was one of the exhibits I was looking at. Oop. This was one of the exhibits I was looking at to see how exactly are the climbing structures done. And as you can see, virtually all of it is individual logs rather than these flat pieces. There's a couple of flat pieces, but it's mostly just logs and logs and logs and then climbable trees. So that's what kind of finally clued me in as to how to make my chimps happier. So that's not too bad. I think we'll leave you guys to that for the moment. Play, so yeah, your enrichment is up quite a bit more. How'd that do for us? 86%. We'll be at 90 in no time, right? I'm sure I can still make the bonobos a little bit happier, but for the moment... Yes, why is my giant burrowing cockroach unhappy? Probably because they just don't have all of the different enrichment items in their habitat just yet. The frogs... I should be able to do something about the frogs because we were doing a bunch of research for them. Go, froggies. Is it this one? Froggies. Did a bunch of research for you, so yeah, we can add some stuff to your habitat. Let's have like... Shall I put a couple of logs in there? I mean, you only technically have to have one from each enrichment level, but more of them's always fun. Oh, I can go all the way up on these guys. Let's have a nice little plant in there. And... I want to actually see the things. Where are the misters? Was that thing? Yeah. That's good. That should make the froggy a lot happier. Still 86. We don't care about the happiness of frogs. Who else could use a boost to their happies? Definitely that iguana there. Let's see. What? What does that mean? What does that mean? Why are you red? What is that even about? Is it because they're unhappy with there being too many people around? Oh, because they're in a box. Well, I'd be unhappy too. Get out of your box. Sorry. I mean, I understand you're upset, but there's no need for that kind of language. It's probably because I did a little bit of adjusting to their climbing structures, because there was poop hidden underneath, and seems to still be. I might have to move things around a little bit more and risk my poor little guys getting boxed up again. But they end up getting boxed like that anytime that you make adjustments on the fly while there's animals in the exhibit. Kind of weird, but I guess it's just a symptom of, you know, when they're having to recalculate stuff, it assumes that something's gone wrong with the critter and chucks him in a box. Well, now we know what that icon means.
Lovely job there.
Oh.
You should be proud of yourself.
Brilliant.
Not only have you expanded the zoo and kept the animals as happy as Lanny, but you didn't bankrupt us in the process.
Excellent.
Amazing.
Well, I'm actually making money, so yeah. 2006. Oh,
well, you've
hi, Bernie.
certainly transformed the zoo. I barely recognize it. A wonderful new exhibit, some fascinating new species, and you've done wonders for the animals' welfare by enriching their habitats. Who doesn't love playing with a 3-foot wide soccer ball, huh? I mean, other than professional soccer players. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't easy, though. I expect money was tighter than a possum's pouch. Plowing all those funds back into the welfare of the animals doesn't make running these places a picnic. Although, it does make me feel a little less guilty about how much our gift shops charge. No, as far as I'm concerned, the only reason to run a zoo is to help animal kind. Sadly, it appears some other people have far less noble goals.
Oh. I have a distinct feeling that that's foreshadowing for some situation in one of the other career modes. Who's fighting for Alpha Stat? Oh. Chimp! We're having a chimp battle! Alright, I want to see it. I want to see the chimps duke it out. Who's fighting? Where are you fighting? Oh no, somebody's injured! Why? Why would you hurt each other, you silly things? And I missed a fight, too. Right. Okay, that's you. You're injured. Hello. Excuse me, vet. Please come here and uninjure my ape. I had a baby mandrill. What? Where are the mandrills? Here are the mandrills. Well, you're definitely not the baby. Okay, wait, I want to find who's about to mature. Alright, I'm gonna look in here and find the mandrills. Who's the kid? Oh, infant. Oh, okay. Gosh, it takes them quite a while to mature, doesn't it? Where are you? There you are. You're so teeny tiny, you won't be in a second. Are you a little... You're a little girl, okay. I'm a little bit anxious about this situation because it seems like as soon as you end up with these guys getting to be, or rather, as soon as in a career mode you finish up with all of these stars is when it starts doing that whole, okay, now all your animals are gonna start breeding like crazy. So the one thing we can do about that is simply pop everybody on contraceptives. I know, it's kind of a dreadful thing to end up doing, isn't it? Didn't particularly mean to select you guys, but do. Contracept all the poor critters. I don't know if it actually costs anything to put critters on contraception. That would be a very interesting question to have answered. But ultimately my goal for this episode was to get the 3rd star for this zoo, which we got, so... I don't know. Let's watch a little baby monkey turn into a grown-up monkey. They had talked for a bit about the animals slowly aging, like they would physically get bigger and bigger until they then turned into an adult. It seems like that's not something that made it in right at release, but this was something they were talking about fairly recently before the game came out. So I'm thinking that that might be something that that we'll see in a patch before too long. Sorry, I was trying to read notifications at the same time. Are you gonna get bigger? You're still teensy. You're juvenile now. Oh, you were an infant before, now you're juvenile? That's interesting. Let's see. I'm still gonna follow you around. What? Were you just peeing? Or is that... Oh, like there's poop in your water, isn't there? Ah, it's fun. That's one of the problems that we're still having in the game, is that the keepers don't seem like they really like to clean out poop if it's in the water. You would think that the filtration system would take care of that, because that's sort of the point of a filtration system, isn't it? These guys sure are cute, though. Oh, look at those clouds. Is it gonna rain again? You're so tiny! I think you were supposed to be getting bigger, but maybe that just meant going from infant to juvenile. Okay, it wasn't... There you go, guys. It wasn't them going for a pee. I'd never seen an animal go for a pee in the game, but it was just, it's assuming that they're hitting the water out here. Eh. see. Research is complete. I believe that's chimps I was researching at the moment. Cool. Do we have more? Which is the one where it gives them better quality food? That's this one. Okay, so we're a little bit off of that anyway. Giant tiger land snail is hungry. See? You leave the thing off pause and suddenly everything just goes completely bonkers. I want to see these little cuties. Now the climbing's still a little bit wonky at times, but man, it's fun watching them go up and down things that you build for them. Get it! Get it! Oh, we're both gonna... Ow. Excuse me. Yes, pardon. Looks like my cat's playing with stuff. He's like, hit it and go, oh my god, what did that do? That's it. You are getting renamed. Your name is now Beethoven. Too cute. Ah, speaking of cute, oh my gosh. You're so tiny. Hello. He's making little sad noises and they sound exactly like when the little baby kitties make sad noises. Are you having stuck problems? No, you're good. Look at those big eyes on you. More poop. That's as big as your head. It's like, please don't vacuum up my lemur, okay? Alright, what else do we have to look at this lovely zoo? Seems like everything's running pretty tip-top. That's one nice thing about the career mode maps is that you can kind of have a look at them to see what works and what doesn't. Like you can see how many animals are in here and how it compares to like how many food places you should have. Places definitely making money, no problems there. And they've done a really nice job with the decorating and everything. Everything's done in the African style. And the thing that I noticed they used a lot in this one is they're actually using the barrier pieces. Oops. That bit's not. One sec. Let me find one of them that's using the barrier pieces. Nope, that's just going to be group pieces again. Well, maybe I'm crazy. So I know one of the things that you can do is you can actually use the parts of the barriers. Yeah. Got Planet Coaster music playing at me. Must be a shop nearby. That's one of my favorite pieces too, from the soundtrack. Alright, oh gosh, it's noisy over there. I'm just going around in circles. Okay, well the thing that I wanted to show anyway is that you can place down like a chunk of barrier or something. Let's do just a little angle snap. Let's do a little square of this because there's like two really cool things that I can show here that's kind of fun. One of them is if you don't want this to all be for animals, you can set it up so that it is not in fact a habitat. You do that by going over to here and saying that this is uncheck habitat perimeter. So that's fun. The other kind of cool thing before I go ahead and stop the video is that we can do in the terrain tab, go to water. So we've got this markman. This one is not actually a habitat. Oh. One sec, I need to make it a little bit deeper, I believe. Go up a little on this. Terrain, water. Of course, now it's not going to do it. Oh, there we go. You can actually click. That's right, the blue thing just doesn't show up. But basically that's a way to make like a little bit of a water feature using these barrier pieces. Can I still do that if it's low down? Yeah, there we go. So yeah, if you want to make a fountain or something like that, here's a handy way to do it. Okay, figured I'd just do that since I had already finished the 3-starring, or rather the gold starring for this particular career mode. Woohoo! So we're ready to move on to the next one in the next video. Feel free to like or comment, and if you want random updates from my little world of art and gaming, subscribe. If you enjoy what I do and are interested in supporting the channel, check out my Patreon. A big thank you to my current patrons. That's all for now. Bye!